the show. I mean, that's nothing else is really needed. Actually, Dave was supposed to hypnotize you, not get you all pumped up. I really don't know what happened there. You know, something went terribly wrong. Who's really, I mean, who really feels the energy in the room right now? Who's really ready to go out there and tear this thing up? Who's ready to put all of the excuses aside? I remember when I first got started, and you know, truthfully, I had a choice. And my choices came actually long before I even got started in this industry. You know, my choice came when I was in that bathroom. And I literally was, I was a junkie. I mean, that's where my life had taken me. And I had all of these voices inside of my head over here that were telling me, dude, you ain't never going to be shit. They said, Dave, standing up and walking outside of this room right now is not going to do you any good because everybody already knows who you are. Going out and making a decision to change your life, this voice over here, it said, Dave, it's not worth it, right? I can remember also when I got started in this industry, and Erin she can attest to this, right? And I think we can all attest to the struggle and the kind of pull from one side to the other of what we really went through internally when we first got started in this industry. Over here, seriously, my mind was telling me, Dave, yeah, you might have gotten clean, Dave, yeah, you might have, you know, made some decisions and your life is starting to kind of turn around a little bit, but dude, listen, nobody wants to hear what you got to say. The truth is, you can try this network marketing thing, you can try this online thing, but the truth is that you ain't never going to be shit. That's what this voice over here told me, guys. When Dave Wood came and he called me on the phone, because we've been talking back and forth for a little while, right? Remember when we've been talking on the phone? And Dave said, you know, dude, I've been throwing some ideas around in my head. I'm throwing an event. And that's really all you did was just invite me down. Lawrence, he was doing an event, right? We were just kind of grinding along. We were grinding along inside of our business. And when he said, Dave, why don't you come down to my house? And, you know, I've invited some other leaders and stuff, and we're going to do a little train. I've got 10 or 11 people. Guys, I had a voice over here in the same place inside of my head. And that voice said, don't go. Don't go. It's not going to be worth it. Don't go. The dog needs to be walked. Don't go. There's my brother you're from Guam, aren't you, brother? Is that you? No? You look like him, though. The voice said, don't go, man.
I do that all the time.
Right? Because it's just going to be another wasted effort, right? Anybody ever have a voice like that inside of their head that just constantly is chattering in the back of their head, telling them what they can't do? Sometimes it's somebody outside of you, too. Sometimes you've got to learn to erase the people inside of your life who don't believe in your dreams. Sometimes you've got to tell people, hey, I do have a dream. And my dream is worth it. And if you don't believe in my dream, then I don't believe in you. Sometimes you've got to walk through and walk past the bullshit. Sometimes you've got to overcome even yourself, right? When we, I do. When we started this company, guys, all we had was a vision, right? All we had was a vision. And there was all of these voices, right? Just like there always is, that says, you know, look, there's going to be all of these obstacles. There's going to be all of these hurdles. There's going to be all of these different things that you're going to have to overcome. You're going to have to sacrifice time. You're going to have to sacrifice family. You're going to have to sacrifice money, right? You're going to have to go and tell people that I'm not going to be available here for the next couple of months. I'm not going to be available to go out and go drinking. I'm not going to be available to go out and go partying. I'm not going to be available to go out and do all of the things that all of you guys are doing because you don't have a dream, right? Sometimes you got to sacrifice a little bit. So that little voice in the back of my head said, Dave, don't even bother. Don't even bother, right? And it was over here, and it was just gnawing at me, just like it always had. It always had. I had this little voice in the back of my head. It always just kind of just gnawed at me, right? Can you guys relate? Yeah. Sometimes it's external, sometimes it's internal. I can remember when I was in Rome, right? And it was just a couple of weeks ago. And I've always been this guy, right? Who's kind of this free spirit, you know. I just kind of wander around and I just kind of go where my heart takes me. You know, I go where my vision takes me. Right? And I woke up one morning and I bought this ring, right? But it wasn't this ring. It was another ring. And I told my daughter, I said, I think it's time. I think I'm going to ask this woman to marry me. And I was in Rome, and we were getting ready to go out to this wonderful opera, right? And I'm the guy who lives by the seat of my pants, right? You know, I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight. I don't know when I'm flying out tomorrow. I don't know, you know, what we're doing tomorrow. I have no idea, right? Because you got to learn to major in the majors. But I went to Bailey, my daughter, and I said, you know, honey, I think I'm gonna do it right now, right? And Bailey said, well, Dad, are you sure? I wish we had more time to talk about this. Are you sure this is the right place? And I said, honey, it's time. And as I kind of walked around the house, and I was nervous, right? I was just so super nervous. It was like one of the biggest things, that, if not the biggest thing that I've ever done in my life. And as I was walking around the house, and I was over in Rome, we were overlooking the Vatican and all this stuff, most beautiful view that I've ever seen, right? And over here, this little voice inside of my head said, Dave, holy shit. This is the craziest fucking thing you've ever done. You're a free spirit, brother. You just want to run around and just, you know, wander off into different galaxies, right? Travel, right? And as I got down onto one knee, right, all of the butterflies and the little voice in my head, right, said, oh God, Dave, are you sure, right? And that's just the little voice that's in the back of my head, right? Just over here, just this one little voice that's in the back of my head. And as I asked Aaron to marry me, all of that tension and that energy built up. And when she said yes, I knew I was doing the right thing for the right reason. I knew. Now, don't give me a round of applause. Give her a round of applause for putting up with it. Because sometimes there's this voice over here inside of your head that tries to talk you out of everything that's good for you. And then there's this voice over here that tells you that you can do this. That you should do this. When we launched this company, there was this voice over here that told us, you guys are crazy as hell. And everybody else told us that we were crazy too. And there was this voice over here that said, you should do this. Not only for you, but for your team. It's your time and it's their time too. It's your time and it's their time to be on stage. It's your time and it's their time to stand up and cast a vision. It's your time and it's more importantly their time to go out there and make an impact on the world, right? So, as I was sitting in front of my computer in this nasty little voice, right? And I was still out driving the old 1994 F1. This was back in the Lawrence Tam days, right? This was back in the days to where I was still working a construction job. And I tell you this, guys, because I really want you to realize that your past does not equal your future. It's what you do right now that matters. Guys, I'm telling you, there's somebody in this room, and probably a lot of you, who feel that what you've done in the past, whether it's that you got arrested, right? Whether you got molested, whether it's that you were an outcast or a black sheep, whether it's that you never believed in yourself, or maybe you've always just had maybe you didn't graduate high school, maybe you're somebody that's just like me that was homeless, maybe you're somebody that's just like me who was a drug addict or an alcoholic, and people all your life, most importantly, yourself, has been saying, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, it's a waste of time. And then there's this powerful voice inside of you over here that says, not only can you do this, but you must do this right now. You must do this right now. You must do this right now. It is your time, and you must do this right now. Guys, when I was in that bathroom, and I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for the decision that I made in that bathroom, and I'm going to tell you something, I was down on one knee, guys, and my whole entire life was in front of me, and I stood up, and that little fucking nasty voice over here said, just go get another one, Dave. You ain't never gonna be shit. Don't even worry about it. Don't even bother. And I stood up, and somehow, some way, inside, I got just a little ounce of the greatness inside of me. And it said, boy, you have got so much more potential. You've got so much more in front of you. People are counting on you. People need to hear your story. People need to know that you struggle. People need to know that you've had challenges. People need to know that you're a human being too. People need to know that you've overcome shit so they can know that they can overcome shit. And you know what? I told this voice over here, fuck you. Does not equal your future. It's what you decide to do right this minute that matters. Who's got their tickets to the next event? Who's going to be at the next event showing up not only with themselves but a team, and that's it? Who's going to be on stage at the next event? Who's going to be getting a big ass check at the next event? Who's going to be speaking life and vision to the people at the next event? Who's going to go out there and tell the voice in their head, right there, what are you going to say? Say it with me. Fuck you! And who's going to go out there and make it happen? No matter what. No matter what challenges stand in your way. Guys, if you're going to do it, and that's it,